Hello ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back to Planet Crafters with myself, Oswald Blair at Vivida. This is episode 10 part 2. Just 2 seconds, I'm just gonna, yep, cool, I'm good with that. Right, let's go. So I was just making sure it's recording. Right, so before we crack on, I have upgraded the backpack to T5. I've also upgraded the torch. Just to let everyone know, I've been rather busy on stockpiling more resources, so I've actually completely cleared the landing site as well as the build site. I've also removed everything from the iridium mine as well as recording an extension part 1 to this video, which was just entering the little cave on here. So our next step is to head off to the canyon area. So if we come outside, we're going to venture off over there. Please tell me that's water. Good. Right, so we're going to come past this area here. So we're going to come around the outskirts of the labyrinth as we're going there. So we're going to come to the right side of the labyrinth and we're just going to head up the mountain range up here, and we're going to head into that area which I call the canyon area. You'll figure out why when we get there. It looks like a massive canyon, almost like the Grand Canyon. And what we're going to do, I'm not going to be able to do it unless I find aluminium. Ouch. Okay, so this is the canyon area. So you'll see loafing around a few boxes and a few bits and pieces. So we're not going to go from the canyon area. So we're going to come down and we're going to come over to our first box and pick everything up. From here, we are going to venture further down the canyon area, and just on the left hand side here you'll find a cave entrance. I'm just going to take a picture of it. We're going to head inside, because inside here there are a few bits and pieces that I myself would like to pick up. There's some osmium, sulfur. Hopefully I can find some more sulfur. Yes, I can. Brilliant. And I'm not entirely sure if both sides are opened up or not. I don't believe it has. But what we're going to do, we're going to pick up all the sulfur and osmium inside, because, well, we need osmium more than anything at the moment for the next part of the chapter of our game, for setting up drills. So having a stockpile of osmium as well as sulfur will come in handy for that part. And considering this cave is only accessible on this side at this precise moment, it's blocked off with that nice bit of chunky it's blocked off due to the ice block. And then we're going to come down and open up the box over here and take what's inside. Then what we're going to do, because we need to build a resource drop point, and Numpty over here forgot to actually take the resources with me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up some resources on the way. So I need some silicon. In fact, I need 2 chunks of silicon. I can just find it. I need some titanium as well. And that's me pretty much nearly full up. I'm also going to nick one last piece of iron off the deck, because it'll always come in handy. And then we're going to fly to the back end of the canyon out towards the desert dune. And this is just a shortcut for us, because our next episode is literally going to be this desert dune area. So rather than taking everything home from this area and then blah blah blah, we can do 2 episodes all at once and make life just a little bit easier for ourselves. It just basically means we can, in a nutshell, take everything home after the 2 episodes are done, rather than messing around going home in this episode and coming back and then having to set up another location. The only problem being is that I don't currently have any aluminium, unless I venture back to the aluminium mine to pick one chunk of it up, which is a bit of a pain, but you know, not a major big deal. So I'm going to pick up 3 iron as well, just so I've got some place that I can store some items in before obviously heading back in. I'm just going to throw everything inside, and this is just going to help us later on in the game. So unfortunately I'm not going to be able to put markers on the area unless I quickly head into that aluminium mine just to nick one piece of aluminium, which I can do quickly. Why not? It's my fault, so we'll fix that problem now. Not a major big deal. The aluminium mine's only literally around the corner anyway, so it's not a major big deal. So you'll see the aluminium mine in the background over there. And this is fundamentally why I mentioned about doing both areas together, because they're literally side by side, so it's slightly easier. You can just go from one to the other straight away. So there's an aluminium. So we're just going to pick that up. And then head back. That will give us our little beacon that we can use for later on. So we know where the location is, where the resource point is, and also where the ship is. So when we come back later, you know exactly where it is, rather than, you know, if you're not used to the map, it comes in handy. So it's only a suggestion that you use one. You don't have to, but I do. I'm just going to stick a beacon and as a rule of thumb, we're going to do that for pretty much any location that has microchips, basically. So if you've got microchips in a location, stick a beacon there, and then that way you can go back and collect them when you unlock microchips, or deconstruction too. So we're going to head back into the canyon. And rather than going that way, we're going to go this way instead, because on the way back in we will find another big box. We're going to fly down this way and then take a left, right and fly to the very back. And the idea being in mind is that there are two sides to that cave, so when we go out and hunt for osmium later, we'll be hunting for osmium there as well. I can't believe I've just done that. I just didn't bother taking the picture again, did I? Right, so I'll have to do that on my save. It's not a major issue. I'll just come back with my other game, my guide reference. We're going to come to this box, get rid of it, and then we're going to come over to ship and collect the chip, get rid of it. And then from here we're going to go down the left side. So we're just going to turn around and fly down the left side of it. And right behind this stone pillar is going to be a gold chest. Again, this is why it's good to have those icons or beacons, because, you know, I'll be pointing in some form of direction for, say, something. I'm also going to take this picture so I don't actually forget. So we've got this episode. The next episode will be this ship and this area as separate, and then we've got a few things in between to do to gather some more resources. We need to gather uranium for power, set up drills, and gather osmium, sulfur. And then we're going to come back in. And don't forget, we're going to have to collect the supplies from the gold chest. So we're going to come down to this one first, collect this stuff in that one, and come further down. Take a note of what's on the right hand side there. That is our second iridium mine, which we're going to head into in a minute. And while we're here, we're going to set up a resource drop point, because we can. Just need some silicon. and also another beacon, because we may as well mark this one up as well. So it makes total sense to mark this up. So we're going to put another resource drop point, a doorway, and also a beacon. And then we call this iridium to mine, and we want to change the colour to green, like so, because all the other ones have been named in green primarily. And then what we're going to do, we're going to head into the iridium mine, collect the iridium, because again it's free iridium, so why not. It saves us venturing inside later. If I remember rightly, there's another chest. There's actually a chest in here as well. So, oh, nice. And there's also an entrance to a cave over there, which we'll use explosives to gain entrance to. Nice. So again, we're not going to drop this stuff off there. We might as well drop it off at the other location, because let's be fair, we're going to finish this episode up. The only reason I'm marking it up is because it's an iridium, it's a mine, so it just allows you to see where the mines actually are. It's just some little pointers on where to go and where to do certain mining. There are plenty of other mines around, but I pretty much fundamentally only use a couple of them. I use both uranium mines and predominantly both iridium mines for different things. It just makes life a lot easier. But pretty much stick to one sulphur mine if I'm honest. Right, so I am going to take that, because by the looks of things I'm going to need to create another vault. And then I'm going to come back out and fly back. Now, I will say this, the magnesium mine is in the same place, so take note that right over by this group of rocks where my pointer is actually highlighting is where your magnesium mine is. So later on, when we need to mine for magnesium, we'll do it over here. I mean, you can mine it literally anywhere you want, really, because it's magnesium, but I prefer to use the actual locations for magnesium. Again, it's pretty much for the guide reference, so that you're aware of where the actual mines are. I do believe, oh no, there's one more. Oh no, and another. Excuse me. I do believe that's the mine completely gone. So this will be where the magnesium one will be. So we'll just probably use that one as a resource drop point for it, instead of building two. Don't need two teleporters or anything, you might as well just share one. As a rule of thumb though, if you're going to use that, I would suggest using 2 sets of drones for it though. But then again, I always use a set of drones for every location. That gives you 25 drones. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to drop this off, and then I'm going to find water because I need it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to save it there. And this is this episode over and done with, and I will start the next episode, which will be episode 11, which will be the desert dune area. And I shall see you in the next. Ciao guys.